People had been there before. Everybody said, no, there's no space signal in this area.
When we made lesions in the hippocampus, which is a structure that was known to contain place signals, surprisingly, those lesions really didn't remove much of the place signal. And that, over a few years, led us to go out of the hippocampus into a structure called entorhinal cortex, which at that time was completely unknown territory. And then we put electrodes in there and recorded activity.
We listen to the cells, and when a rat is going into these fields where, in the environment where the cell is very active, then you hear this really high popcorn sound.
And look at their beautiful place cell.
And it's so rewarding if you have been searching for cells for such a long time and you hear this popcorn sound. It's just fantastic.
Are you listening to your brain cells?
Those signals actually formed a very regular pattern, and that was the beginning of the grid cells.
What was so fascinating with this is the mathematics. You could fit equilateral triangles between 3 and 3 spots, so you got perfect hexagons.
And then later we found that that could be a part of the way the brain forms a map.
The grid map is an empty map, so it's like longitudes and latitudes without a map. So you have a coordinate system.
Maybe you can say that the similarity to a GPS is that the system uses the rat's position and movement, speed, but doesn't care about what it looks like around. It just uses the change in position, just like a GPS.
And then you have the communication with the hippocampus, where you have the memory. And the memory for the landmarks, for the environment, for everything that is put on top of this coordinate system.
So of course the difference in the human brain is that it's so much more. This area that contains the grid cells happens to be the same area that is first damaged in many Alzheimer's patients. One of the first earliest symptoms in Alzheimer's disease is that the patient starts to lose their sense of orientation. They can't find their way. This is one of the first mental functions that we are beginning to understand. And if you learn how this works, perhaps we also learn how the rest of the brain works, because the brain is generally using the same tricks over and over again for different types of behaviors.